This one I think is the most interesting game out of them all. Saturday night, 8:15, Ravens Bills. Nick, who do you have in this one?
I'm taking Baltimore, but I just want to point out a few stats. So the Bills have lost 3 times. They've lost to Tennessee, Arizona, and Kansas City. Tennessee has the second best rushing offense in the league. Arizona has the seventh best, but we know how they lost to Arizona. But Arizona has the seventh best rushing offense in the league, and they ran for over 200 yards. And they lost to KC, who was the 16th best rushing offense in the league. KC ran for 245 yards. That's the most they've ever ran for in a game since week 16 of 2012.
There was torrential downpours in the game, so we will just mention that.
There's going to be bad weather this weekend, too. And let me tell you what. They held Mahomes to 225 passing yards, which is a bad day for Mahomes. They still lost because of the rushing game. Baltimore leads the league in rushing by nearly 400 yards. They averaged 300,000 yards they had rushing this year. They've held the league's fourth best offense, Tennessee, to 13 points last weekend. Tennessee had the second best rushing offense. Baltimore held them to 51 rushing yards and less than 170 passing yards. And before we say, they just got
3 inches of snow and 25-mile-per-hour winds during the game.
Before we think that it was just a fluke, that Tennessee is, they just caught them on a bad day. I don't think it's coincidence that Baltimore ranks 6th in passing defense and 8th in rushing defense this year. That's a good defense. It's a very good defense. And they forced 25 fumbles, which leads the league by 8. So bottom line, Brian just alluded to it. Bad weather. This is going to be a rushing game. I'm going to take the best rushing offense in the league against the 18th best rushing defense, which is Baltimore. Baltimore has the first best rushing offense in the league. Baltimore. I'm going to take them over Buffalo. I think it's going to be a rushing game because of the weather.
Given the weather, Buffalo sort of plays in this weather, like every year. It's kind of where they live. It's kind of the weather that they are used to. And doesn't matter. And guess what? Guess what matters more than yards, Nick? Points. And Baltimore put up 20 points against the terrible Tennessee defense that you said. 20 points is not going to be enough to stop Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. I got the Bills.
Yeah, same for me. I got the Bills. They score, I think, almost not effortlessly, but I think that first playoff game against Indy is exactly what they needed. Kind of a gut check, a closer game than they wanted it to be. And I think they'll be more confident going into this game at home Saturday night. They got fans back in the building. I think the Bills. Yeah, I got the Bills. I think it'll be a good game. And Lamar in New England did terrible in the bad weather. So.
Yeah, I don't know what to do here because both teams, I feel like, are completely different. They're just complete opposites of each other. Weather is 100% going to be a huge factor. I like Baltimore's defense a lot, and Indy's defense is good too. And, I mean, Josh Allen, they didn't really struggle, but they didn't look like their 40 points a game selves. Maybe that was just because they were caught off guard. They haven't really played a good team in a while. The Bills haven't. So
it's also Josh Allen's second playoff game ever.
Yeah, but I don't know if that really mattered because there's not a lot of fans, so it didn't really feel like a playoff game. But they didn't play a lot of good teams at the end of the year. They kind of rolled through their schedule, including playing the Patriots. But I think I'm going to go the Ravens, but I'm being very hesitant on going on the Ravens because their defense is good. Nick pointed it out. It's the top 10 defense. They have their top 10 defense in both rush and pass, which is very good in the NFL. It's just their offense. Their offense scares me. I don't like how they play offense. I mean, I guess it works sometimes, but they cannot pass the ball at all. And you kind of really need to, especially in a league like today where it's basically strictly all pass. So, I mean, I don't know. It's going to be close. Their offense scares me, but I'm going to go a hesitant Ravens.